just running the hell out of us. It was just, all those big wheels went to a meeting one day, and they come back, and they said the next morning when we fell out, he said, "You think you've been working hard?" He said, "We're just starting." He said, "This unit has to be ready to go overseas in the next 3 weeks." He says, and they didn't know they run us. And they'd set us down out in the woods and talk to us. And the corporal says, "Harnish, what's the matter with you?" I says, "Why?" Well, he said, "You're being transferred non-combat." And I showed him my leg, and he said, "How the hell did you get in the Army?"
What's wrong with your leg?
A Shetland pony run me in a wire fence.
Oh. Oh, we get video of the leg.
Holy smokes, Ray.
Move that muscle dead.
This muscle is cut off right there. When every time you step, that muscle. But come on, that sort of stuck out there, 2-3 inches.
Huh.
That's a good place for an army, in the infantry, with a leg like that.
They didn't even check you too good when they did the medicals.
They held me over an extra day. And all the rest of the guys that I went down with went in the next day, and they held me over a day when we threw the second time.
Where did you go to basic training?
Huh?
Where did you go to basic?
Well, he had to go to Milwaukee
Mississippi.
for the examination to see if they were going to take him or not.
Yeah,
And then,
But they held me over in Milwaukee a day.
yeah.
where'd you ship you to?
Huh?
Where'd they ship you to then?
Mississippi,
Mississippi.
Camp Shelby. There's an awful lot of the guys now that go there for their training before they go to Iraq.
So anyway, finish your story about you think you're working hard now, you got to be ready to go overseas in 2 weeks.
And he showed him
Well,
his leg.
So what happened to the 85th Division?
Well, they lost 85% of the soldiers over in Italy.
So if he wouldn't have been kicked out, why he probably wouldn't be here today.
85th Division. I don't know much about the 85th. I don't know anything about it. But
Well, they was in Camp Shelby.
There's not many left to know much about.
In Camp Shelby, there was 85,000 soldiers in Camp Shelby.
wow.
One day, they got us all out, everybody out of camp. On the main road that went all the way around, we stood facing the road. We knew something was going to happen, and you wasn't supposed to look this way or that way. You were supposed to look straight ahead and salute. And my captain of the
And a big car went by.
this big open car went by, and he says, "Who the hell was it, Ray?" I said, "It was Roosevelt." He turned the camp.
He's probably down in Warm Springs. What a deal.
Yeah. And then I was in Camp Shelby, and then they opened up a new camp. And then I was working in headquarters. The headquarters, when they opened up new camp, the headquarters was the first people there. And then it was Camp Van Dorn, just temporary barracks.
They never had to sweep the floor or use a dustpan. They just swept the floor and go through the cracks.
Nothing but the finest. Huh?
Mississippi was the humidity was so high in Mississippi, and in the winter time there was so many guys getting pneumonia. They had coal burners. There was 40 guys in each barracks, and so many of them would go into the hospital with pneumonia. They put night firemen on. Yeah, everything, all the clothes we had, and the big overcoats and everything, cover up with it, but still you'd get cold.
Did they have heaters in the barracks?
And they had all
Coal burners.
coal burners. It was about this big around and about that high. There was 2 of them in there. And they put on
Well, they can get miserable down south, I know that.
Oh, God, the humidity was terrible, and by 10 o'clock the next day you'd be running around in your shirt sleeves. I mean, it was just, the humidity was terrible.
Well, what other lies can we tell tonight? I got a lot of videotapes.
Do you want some of his stories? I mean, tell them about the time they asked for volunteers to go into town.
No. When I first got down there, they Sunday and nothing to do, and they asked for volunteers to clean up. We didn't know what he was going to do, and there was only, I don't know if I was the only one I think that volunteered, and I wanted something to do, and it was take them guns all coming, what do they call it?
Cosmoline.
Cosmoline. And that's what they wanted to do, get them guns cleaned up.
It's a
Okay,
mess.
Ray, you go to your barracks, rest you come in here and clean guns.
Ooh, that was a good deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty messy.
And then the time you went to town, to the railroad car?
Oh, yeah, one of the guys in the quartermaster. Ray, why don't you ride into town to me? He says, I got to run into town with the army truck with the canvas, hooks over and canvas over them, you know. What are you going to do? I don't know. And they told me to go down there and meet the train when I come in. And it was the payroll came in for camp. And when we got down there, there was motorcycle cops and jeeps with machine guns mounted on them and everything. And it was only 2 miles from camp. And we set on $1 million.
Well, they paid everybody in cash.
Yeah, the payroll in camp.
Yeah.
And then one day they said, anybody that's non-combat can go home. And you had to go ahead and sign up. And they give you, I don't remember, mustering out pay was like $80, $90, I don't know just what it was. So they sent us home. There was they drafted, at that time they drafted non-combat guys in the Army. They was in there 2-3 months and they sent them all home.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it didn't.
But I know that's not one of the rules. It doesn't have to make sense.
No. And there was only one guy that didn't go home. He wanted to stay in the Army. Oh, Sid, did you know Sid Christensen? That was...
Sidney Christensen?
Forrest Christensen is the only one I remember, and Mabel.
Who?
Forrest and Mabel
Okay,
Christensen.
and there was Floyd and Sid and Claude. And he went in to Milwaukee with me, and he wanted to get in the Army the worst way. But he had these fingers cut off. And they wouldn't take him. He even paid his own room to stay over and went the next day. And he wanted to get in the Army the worst way. He said, I just love to cook. He said, I'm a good cook. He said, but they didn't take him.
Yeah, the government never could do anything. You know, he could cook perfectly all right. He wouldn't have to have fingers to cook.
All them guys
But
that they
train
sent
somebody
home,
else that doesn't know how.
Yeah.
all them guys that they sent home, not all of them, but a lot of them could do office work. I was a mail carrier. I had to go to the post office and get the mail and bring it back and call mail. And
Yeah, I'm sure they could have done
yeah,
a lot.
I say they could have put me in a quartermaster, been a truck driver. And,
I'm sure they had their rules and had to follow them.
yeah.
I'm sure they did. Well, that's the end of it. I got nothing here.
Yeah, you're hanging out over space.
I'm over space.
Yeah.
And if you fall out, you go a long ways.
Who's falling?
It does look like you're gonna fall.
I'm
With this
hoping
nice
not.
breeze, you still need a fan?
I was warm.
Okay.
She's allowed.
I know she's allowed.
It's not a steady enough breeze.
I have to watch him to make sure he doesn't abuse me. Because don't make me hurt this tomato plant.
Well, I'll tell you, I got snapped pretty hard taking those off yesterday.
One of them bit you.
Mousetrap. Something else just bit me right there.
Did you want to try it?
No.
Well, now we always know where they are. They're trapped. They can't get out without our help.
She wants one.
You think I can't get out without? No, ma'am, I did not say that. I would not imply.
But I think you should
better
ask for
have
help.
some help. when
If you
get
slip
out.
backwards, it won't feel good.
Yeah, well, we don't want you to fall off that.
Yeah, but you're right at the edge of the deck.
Yeah, you're at the edge of the deck. Yeah.
I can
We would
understand
prefer
that,
that you not try and get out by yourself.
but I know I can get out.
Yeah, we know
That's
you
good.
can get out.
But they're, you know,
Yes. We don't want to have any.
they
broken
won't be
hips.
running off.
It's true. I don't want to break a leg.
No, yeah. Don't want to do that. She did that once, you know. Yeah.
Broke her leg?
Now it's not
sprained
the
her
age to do
ankles,
that.
what it ended up being. But we were on the way to Madison to watch Mickey play in the basketball tournament, state tournaments.
It's ready for water.
The awful. At Christmas time, it was a big deal. This was way back before we built the new house. So we had an open front porch to the south. And just the floor and a roof. And we'd put, when it was Christmas time, we'd put hay out there on the front porch for Santa Claus's reindeer. And then on Christmas Day, we'd go out and look, and look, the hay's gone, and look at all those little marks there. Those are reindeer hooves. The sheep came and ate it. End of story.
Well, now, where were the sheep in the wintertime?
At home, in the barnyard. Don't you remember? You got it on yet?
I never shut it off, Dorothy.
Don't you remember we had this big straw stack that we used to make on the east end of the barn?
Yeah.
It was a good-sized straw stack.
Yes.
And this is what they nestled into so that they were warm in the wintertime. And the straw stack is as high as the ceiling or more.
Oh, yes.
And the sheep are this high, and that's how they ate. They ate around the straw
They
stack.
ate the straw?
They ate it and pawed it out. And straw is a lot better fodder than you think it is. There's a lot of oats that still went into everything. And then there'd be lambing time in about March, and they'd have big caves under. They're probably going under there 5-6 feet. They'd probably eaten it in that far already, you know. And then
Like a big mushroom.
and then it would cave in.
On the baby lambs?
On the sheep. And then oh, the straw stack caved in. Everybody run out there and start throwing straw out. Sheep out. And maybe you'd find one dead one even, you know, if it was a very big cave-in, so that they smothered. But usually my dad would break it down before this happened. But I remember this happened once, twice maybe, that caved down on them. And then this made such a nice, there was lots of straw around, it made it a nice place for them to have their lambs.
When you said that the sheep were in the yard, did you milk cows then too?
Yeah.
And so they were also.
Well, the cows were in the barn. In those days, you never let the cows out of the barn.
As long as you had water for them.
Yeah.
Those people that didn't have water for their cows, they had to let them out and sometimes break the ice on the creek for them to drink.
And they drank, and they let them out maybe once, maybe twice a day. Imagine how thirsty those cows got. That's all the water they got. It was once a day. You know, probably let them out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it was the warmest.
No wonder they never got any milk production.
That's right. That's why my father was a smart guy to get the water to the cows. Because the windmill was really put in for the cows, and for the house was just an added benefit.
But wasn't it lucky that it was just when Betty was a baby that they put in this bathroom?
No, it was before. Didn't you say 1925? when you were looking at those papers?
Well, that, you've got,
I've got the records from when they bought the equipment and paid the help.
really?
Yeah.
And have you got the story about where my dad, he hired 2 men to dig the cistern?
I know the story.
We'll let her tell it.
And he was out in the field doing field work, and it was dinner time, and called them all in, and the men came down off the Windmill Hill. It wasn't very far. And my dad wanted to see how they were coming, so he went up the Windmill Hill.
Oh, I know this story.
And he didn't come back for dinner, and he didn't come back for dinner, and Mother finally went up to Windmill Hill to see why he wasn't coming in for dinner. And here he had just bent down to see they were tunneling a hole for the pipe. He just raised up and it caved in. He was buried to his waist, and he was still digging himself out when my mother died.
He was a lucky guy.
Oh, was he like?
Well, in the old days, they didn't dig a trench solid. They would dig a section of trench and then dig another section and then tunnel between them.
Oh, we still do that today. We
No, they don't.
We do. We do.
Not if you got a backhoe.
Wow. Yeah. I'm thinking of back when we put our water in.
Okay, yeah.
Ray and I.
If you have power equipment, you dig a trench.
We didn't have power equipment those days.
In the good old days.
And of course, yeah, I suppose this had to be down far enough that it didn't freeze.
Oh yeah, they were probably 6 feet in the ground.
At least.
Well, but if you were up the hill a long ways, it would be at the bottom of the cistern.
Well, yes, it was at the bottom of the cistern, and I.
So that would be a lot more than 6 feet down where they're starting to lay the pipe.
Yes. Well, not a great deal far. Were you ever down in the cistern?
No, but I looked down in there when Dad was in there, and it was.
Well, I was down in there with my dad.
Sisters.
I was down in there with your dad too,
Were you?
and your brother.
Okay.
And it wasn't a great deal over your head, and this much did stick out of the ground.
No, it didn't.
There was the lid in a certain section that did stick out of the
I'd say it was
ground.
2-3 feet that stuck out of the ground.
I think I was up there when they closed it. They had the
really?
lid off and they filled it.
Really? It
Filled
is.
it
It
with
has
what?
been filled up with
Oh
sand.
yeah. I don't even know if you could find. You'd probably have to look for concrete up there. That's about all that would remain now.
Well, I was up there, probably 15, 20 years ago, and it was definite in evidence then.
I don't think the windmill was even there when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, the windmill had just been knocked down when I was there. And this is just, it's real recent years. It's,
15, 20 years ago.
yeah.
I'll check with Donald. That windmill's been gone a long time.
They just knocked it down, it left laying there. It was left laying there.
In all the years that I
thought
spent
they
summers
cut it
up
off
there.
So that.
Okay, they cut it off, but and then it fell. And it just laid right there. I saw
Yeah,
it.
no, but it was never vertical. The remnants of it may have been there.
Yeah, it was never vertically. I'm sure you probably don't remember
No.
when it was vertical. But it laid there. Because I asked Donald, could I have it? He says, yes, you can. But I never got over it again.
I don't know that there'd been much to get.
And that was when we were in our new house, because that's the place up on the windmill. So you know that's our
The
house.
metal parts may have still been there, but I'll bet most of the rest were gone.
Well, there wasn't anything else. There was just metal parts.
Yeah, but I mean, the blades were probably,
They were there, but they were all broken. When it
Yeah.
fell, it all broke to pieces.
yeah.
It was just the
And you
tower.
just wanted it to be decorative.
Yeah.
The windmill itself cost $90,
At that time,
1925.
really.
The
How
whole
much?
$90. The whole project, if I remember right, was a little over $300.
Well, that was pretty expensive.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Because that was 1926.
Five.
Yeah.
Probably his pregnant wife said, "You better get me a bathroom closer."
His pregnant wife out of the city of Eau Claire said that. She was a city girl.
Yeah. See.
Of course, I'm sure when she went to Colfax, there was no facilities there.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. In those days?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either.
Of course, I'm just in charge of making stories.
I don't know that there would have been necessarily anything in Eau Claire. I don't know when that would have had.
Oh, yeah, there was in Eau Claire.
You sure they had a sewer system?
Yep.
Electricity?
And Grandma Paulson had a furnace. But where was it? It was in the dining room.
A furnace.
A furnace.
Wood burner or?
Coal burner.
Oh, that was nice and warm then.
That'd make a mess though.
But she was a good housekeeper. It was probably, we never were there in the wintertime. So I don't know what it was like, but it was very pristine in the summertime, as I remember it. What do you remember?
Why were you never there in the wintertime?
It was so far to go to Eau Claire.
50 miles.
You didn't go there
A
in the winter.
2-hour trip.
And besides, you had to go on 12. 12 was concrete. And it was, I bet it was 10 feet wide. Or maybe 12 feet. Because you couldn't need a car. The cars weren't there as wide as they are today.
Just barely, huh?
And why was it bad to go in the concrete?
It wasn't. I just told you.
That was the best road, you know, in front of.
And you got on the concrete, you always had Burma shave signs.
Yes.
Oh, we always had to read 3 or 4 Burma shave signs on the way. Our little local newspaper is putting a couple in every week. This right now. Cuter here.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know what those are.
No.
A piece of Americana gone.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Not gone, just transferred to the internet.
Yeah, I bet, I know, I've seen them on the
Yeah, they're
internet.
on the internet. Yeah.
Burma shave signs are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And all the Burma shave poems.
Well, really, I think I'll go down and tell the newspaper that because they always credit this to so-and-so and this to so-and-so and that to so-and-so. They called in with the Burma shave sign. Some of them, well, this one guy last week I think was, he had the Burma shave signs were on his land. So he's probably, maybe, still got them even, but he sure
Well, you
remembered
don't
what
make
it
so
was.
much
because
noise.
He saw it all every day when he was a kid, I'm sure.
Oh,
But the road in front of our house, Kay, was just a gravel road, and the grader would come
You know, it
around.
wasn't even gravel.
Wasn't even gravel.
No.
But the grader would come down and smooth it out so that the ruts didn't get too deep. And, you know, no lanes, you drove right down the middle of the road till you saw a car coming, then you'd move over to the other side.
I was going to tell you though about the sheep. Our whole barn yard was fenced. We had to go through a gate to get to the barn. We had to open a gate to open the barn to the road. And we had to go through this gate to go to the chicken coop. And I can remember, it wasn't me, I think it was Raymond. You had to go gather the eggs every night, every afternoon. You'd take a pail of oats, and they had a self-feeder that fed other kind of feed. And you had to water them, so we had to carry a pail of water out there for the chickens. And the sheep ran around the whole yard. And the buck sheep got ugly. And Raymond came from the chicken coop, and he came running, and the buck sheep right behind him, and he jumped over the fence and broke half the eggs. I'll never forget that.
Lucky to survive, huh?
Yeah.
Didn't you get chased by the sheep?
I did. I got chased by the sheep. I was at Uncle Donald's house over by the gas pump. And I was with Grandpa, and I got out and, you know, looking around while Grandpa's pumping gas, and this big old sheep came up. I don't remember how.
Mean, vicious one, huh?
Mean, vicious, and it just kept nudging me up against that gas pump, and no matter what I did, it just kept pushing me up against it, and I was so scared of it. And nobody else was around them, because the sheep was just attacking me.
You survived?
I did. But I think I avoided that.
I bet you don't like mutton today, huh?
I don't. It tastes like venison.
Not like chicken?
Tastes like venison.
I've never had mutton.
Well, mutton isn't as good as lamb. Lamb is a lot better. But I don't really like it.
how you doing, Jeff?
Not too
I
bad.
have to really
You need
spice
anything?
it up in order to be able to eat it.
No, go on.
Are you sure?
You can come in here and join us.
No. No, we were running away earlier. We understand.
What's the old boy doing? Oh, he's there too.
Ain't getting no rain yet, huh?
Everybody's coming in, you can
Huh?
turn that
Ain't
off
getting
now.
no rain yet.
No rain yet. Looks like rain out here, but
Tut tut,
Nothing yet.
looks like rain.
When I was,
Dorothy, pictures putting the,
what?
It's on video now.
Is that what
we don't want this on video.
You want it on video?
No,
I don't
we
have
don't.
any on it. Body
Actually,
No, we don't want it.
No.
What was I talking about?
we don't want it. We don't want it.
No. Wait, is it recording?
Yes.
yes.
Well, I just wanted to tell that I thought the blue jeans were rubbing it off instead of, that's how I thought it happened. What did you think happened?
But you know, Dorothy, I have seen where that people that wear cowboy boots, I've seen where it wears the
yes.
hair off right there at the top of the cowboy boots.
Just for the
Smile, Mom.
record,
All
Gene
right.
doesn't have any hair on his legs either.
Here, let's
I
look a
remember
little
that
closer
for
now.
reunion.
Betty, this only happens once every 80 years.
Yes.
Yeah, we ought to turn it around so you can read it.
What's Rena doing, getting drinks?
Rena's getting some drinks. She'll be here momentarily.
Because it's rubbed out.
Well, and Richard, you have a picture of Mom upstairs in her bedroom that Lynn and I need a copy of because it's Mother with a beautiful smile instead of just.
Yeah.
Which picture would that be?
Probably one taken at Penny's, but we don't have a copy of it.
The one in the red, shimmering red,
Yeah.
shimmering, something like that. It's the one that
Just,
That's okay, we're gonna cut it anyway.
what did you do
Well, we
in
gotta
there?
sing.
I was wondering whether it was soft or whether it was a hard.
Oh no, because right by your left
Yeah, right
hand,
here's a
the
blue
box
book.
hit it.
I could tell.
Not,
Wait for your
when
mom.
Rena can get here,
Don't rush her.
but it is a beautiful
She ran away from home.
smile. Instead of just her normal, yeah, it's a good.
Well, I told you where the bigger one was and you can just have a copy or whatever.
Well, but it's easier for Richard to walk downstairs and scan it.
Okay.
Because
Or
the
just
other one is to
print
get
it
to
out.
your house and print it
Well,
out.
you're probably the one that put it there.
Talking to you, Lynn, not me.
What? What are we saying?
No, you were both there. We had our pictures taken.
No, this is not.
No, not
this
that,
is much
no.
before this.
But that one is in front of the other one.
Oh,
At your
in the
house.
frame.
In the frame.
It'd still be easier if he'd scan it and send it.
Or just put it on the next CD or DVD.
How you doing, dear?
Well, I'm fine. I think the coffee's ready. Are we ready?
We're ready to
We're
sing.
ready as soon as you're ready.
Okay. We'll sing and then we can cut the cake and the coffee should be ready by then.
And a one, and a two.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mommy. Happy birthday to you. Woo! And many more.
And I want to thank you very much for having this birthday party for me.
We're glad
It's
to do
really
it.
been special.
No crying, Mommy. Oh, cry, go ahead.
All right.
No. All right.
That looks scary.
Wait.
You gonna cut it?
Oh,
She's gonna cut and serve.
Watch the ribbon. I don't want any ribbon.
well,
maybe.
as long as it's still recording, I really want to thank you for inviting us here, Rena and Richard.
We're glad to have you all here.
Okay.
Maybe we ought to
It's
cut
awesome.
that to the berries so that,
Cut whatever you want.
Yeah.
You have to solve it.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It is a beautiful.
I would say just
I'll take full credit for that.
let us,
I ordered
you
it.
can always just let us,
Well, I was
yeah.
gonna
Did you
help
break
you
it?
made
Did
it.
you break your?
Pick
your,
one and take.
okay, pass this.
Scooby Dooper.
Super duper.
I saved my own neck and I really need another one.
Oh, yeah.
I'll reach in the pocket. and get the other one.
Lynn?
I have one in my lap. Or I have two in my lap.
I was wondering if that was gonna be big enough. but I think
I told you.
Oh,
what kind of
raspberry
cake is
filling
that?
or the strawberry filling, I bet, with the
Looks
chocolate
like
on top.
it's a
Lemon poppy seed?
I wish I had all flicks.
Okay, don't forget to wait till the birthday girl takes a bite.
Thank you.
Well, then, why don't you kind of let her start eating?
'cause she grabbed the knife.
I don't know.
Let it stop there.
And Dorothy.
You're making a mess.
That's probably Amy's case,
She ate some, mommy, she ate some. Sisters.
They're huge.
Every time I say
Children.
that,
Children.
every time I say that, sisters, I think of the Bing Crosby,
Cosby.
no, Crosby
That cake.
movie,
White Christmas.
White Christmas, where they do
Not
that.
only you may
that
have to take
song.
some home with you.
That is just gorgeous.
It is. It is.
Oh, I got the black. Amy, pull out the ribbon.
It's okay, switch with him.
You don't like blackberries? But they're real fun.
You like it more.
Laying over here.
What do you want?
Here, give this one to Jeff.
You got it laying all
Blackberries
over
and
here.
everything.
He's got one.
But this is a much bigger piece.
He's good. Give it to Richard.
Richard.
No blackberries.
Come here. I have two.
Here, Daddy.
Next one too.
Oh, here, Daddy.
I'm fine.
Well, I pulled it off for you.
I got one.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna claim.
Family's great, isn't it?
Have some spoons, right?
A little teeny piece.
Oh,
In its
yes.
own way, yes.
No,
Oh,
sir.
yes.
Is that yours?
Don't do.
How big a family do you have? How many brothers?
How many?
I'll take a small.
2 brothers and a sister.
Look at that now.
And where are they at?
I didn't eat it, I was preparing.
Now my
Smaller
own.
brother lives
All right.
in Florida.
You're on.
All right,
My
we
younger brother
use
lives in
this
North
for your.
Carolina. My,
Or you can have
My
a smaller
sister
one,
lives
a big one.
No, I'm gonna, I'll
back
take
in
the
St.
strawberry
John's, my
over here.
parents.
Well, what do you want?
You want half of this one with me?
You get,
And you can have the strawberries.
No,
No, it was
Why
Dan.
get all the way
You can
around?
have seconds if you want seconds.
They had,
Okay, I'll take that.
I've got a sister and a brother, a brother in
Now can I lick my fingers?
Montana.
Now you can
Brother
lick your
in
fingers.
Wisconsin with them, and
Then you
brother
can take
in
a bite.
And I'm in Minneapolis.
So everybody's waiting for me, huh?
Yes,
Everybody is waiting.
So she's actually
Okay.
her, and she gets to go all over.
Okay, she
Was
ate
it good?
some.
Dig in.
Was it good?
Taking it back.
Super delicious.
After we eat most of it?
Delicious.
Well, I'd say sampled what was that, Rich? Sampled it 40 times and it didn't
Yeah.
pass, so we want a refund.
Oh, those are
If it
delicious
wouldn't be good,
strawberries.
it'd be a first from them. Maybe good.
Delicious cake.
It is a delicious food.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we had a birthday party for Rena's dad. And we ordered a photo cake from Safeway. And we go down there and pick it up. They don't have it.
They threw it out the day before,
We don't know that.
or whatever, that's what she told Mom.
I don't know.
Why would
We
they have
never
thrown
saw
it out if you
They
just?
thought that they missed the day and took it out, they wrote it down wrong or whatever. Well, they must have if they had it ready that far ahead of time. Stupid people.
So what did you do?
They gave us a free cake.
But it
Without the
wasn't
photo.
same.
Without the photo.
Which defeated the whole purpose of everybody being together.
And thinking ahead with the photo.
Yes. Because Dad would have liked it, and as with my aunts and uncles.
You didn't even get the photo back, I suppose.
Bill.
Yes.
No, it was a montage that I made,
Oh.
and I thought I could give them a file, but they ended up scanning my montage. Wasn't quite as good a picture as it could have been.
Doesn't matter, isn't it?
On the cake.
They print it on rice paper.
Is that, I knew, and with edible
Special,
ink,
with edible ink on rice paper, and then they lay the rice paper in the frosting, and the rice paper just kind of disappears in the frosting.
yeah, it
That's how
was,
the pictures are.
it just is so cool. This raspberry filling really,
It's raspberry and lemon.
really adds to it.
It's really good. Yeah, I suppose so too.
Yeah. It's kind of, the one case I had, the Air Force had one,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they did it.
Cameras on, you're not allowed to whisper.
Sure you can.
Camera's still on.
Camera's still on.
Battery hadn't gone dead yet.
Watching
so we're
us
good.
eat.
So you have no body hair, huh?
Not much.
I'm not.
And no chest hair, so.
Jeff hasn't got much either.
Oh, just a teeny bit.
Tell you how I figure it.
How do you figure it?
Just a little further up the evolutionary ladder.
Oh, that's how you figure it.
Evolution.
So then I'm even further. Do you have to shave your legs? I just meant since I'm
A girl?
further down the ladder.
Oh. But that's not based on his theory.
Could be.
Aww, does the cake feel bad? I don't know, we can get a piece with that.
Anybody want another piece?
Boy,
I'm
I
gonna
got
get these little
good about
crumbs
3
here.
inches of frosting here.
I'm gonna clean up the
You like the
edges.
frosting?
Yeah, I got a whole pile over
There's-
here you
there's-
can have if you want
I
it.
kinda like it, but
Well,
a little bit goes a long way for me.
Here,
well, a lot goes a little ways for
you
me.
want that frosting?
Not really.
If Pam was here, that we know, she would
all
consume, she'd just
spit it
scrape it all off,
Jeff, another hunk?
Scrape it all off to eat it or scrape it
eat it,
and eat it?
and eat it.
As an adult or just as a kid?
No.
As an adult, she's still.
At our anniversary
Right.
party, Pam was just scraping off the,
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
well,
Because I used to decorate cakes, I can't hardly have frosting anymore.
I can believe that.
It's good enough frosting, but
well, just a little.
That's really thick for, I mean,
I think they give us a bigger cake than we ordered.
Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know.
I don't think so.
I told you to order the small.
I ordered an 8-inch cake.
Oh, no, this is a lot
No, you
big.
didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I was there.
What did I order?
I don't know, but it wasn't an 8-inch.
No, the 8 inch is what we've had when there's been the 4 of us.
Well,
This is about a 12-inch.
Yeah, I think a 10 inch
Yeah.
would have been.
I think we got a bigger cake than this.
That may be true, because I was thinking you ordered a 10. That's what I was thinking.
Well,
We were thinking like an inch a person or something.
so, Jeff and Edita can take some home. You guys can take some in the car tomorrow. You can
Yeah,
take
there's
some to
no way.
work.
Okay, I'll take some to work.
I can take some to work.
Are we gonna eat it? Daddy can take some to work.
Very carefully.
And Rich can take some to work. Betty's flying, so she can't take some.
No.
Put some in your purse.
You can have a piece with breakfast in the morning. You can take a piece with you to the airport while you sit and wait for your flight.
Really trying
Or
to
you
get
could
rid
have
of it,
a
aren't you?
snack
Well,
time.
that's a lot of cake.
There's a lot of cake, and there's only 3 of
Yeah,
us.
because we didn't even eat half of it.
Yeah, so,
We could take home 2 pieces.
okay. They can take 3 pieces, and we can take some to work.
You gotta take half of what's left.
Who?
You can take it to work, I can take
Those
it to work.
2
and
and
Andy
us
can
3
take-
would be half, would be
Yeah.
more than half.
Yeah, and then we can take 3 pieces for here, and the rest we can take 2. We have to,
Boy,
We'll
when I was
figure it out.
little, I could eat all that icing.
If you had a little plastic container, you could
Ew.
buy
You didn't
some
even
up
have to
for
give them
mother
or sugar?
to take on a plane. You don't want to eat it because it's really good. Change the
That was
flavor.
That was pure luck.
Plain.
They must have forgotten.
I'm playing with the colors.
What we have time for breakfast.
But they didn't have to take
What
sugar
time's your
coupons
plane?
in to get
Well,
this
they're
big
making
beer.
Mine doesn't leave till 10 o'clock.
Well,
but
there's no
you
sugar
get
in
in
this
there in
cake.
time. We have to leave at 6.
Oh, well then I'd have had some more. I didn't know if they had.
How are you getting there?
Rich. And everybody else will be up there.
So I gotta move my car then.
And I'm gonna get my suitcase ready to go in the car tonight if it'll be safe.
It'll be in the garage.
It'll be safe.
Well, I don't know, there's a
I don't
number
know,
of
I
people.
know, I
Nobody-
might go out there and get into it.
Nobody pops open trunks and takes out suitcases.
Well, it won't be in the trunk, it'll be in the back of his blazer.
It'll be
Explorer.
But
Way
explore.
in the garage.
Okay,
In the garage.
we'll just put it in the trunk tonight.
Well, I think I'll wait till the morning because I like my nightgown and
I can put my nightgown in the morning when it's in the back.
Bonnie, you can wait until the morning.
I will.
Birthday girl.
Want me to lend your nightgown?
Get all my bathroom stuff and everything else.
No,
has to
because
go.
I made her a nightie. She's got her summer nightie with her every
Want some more, Ray?
It just happened, Jean
Oh,
gave me
thanks.
a
I
new
got
nightie
plenty.
for my Mother's Day, and then Diane, I got the system,
much
Diane
plain
had a
in
new
the clay.
nightie for me.
I know, I just decided.
This is better for us than Dorothy. Look, it's all nice and organized.
And mine's pretty. Look at
Oh,
that
that
stuff.
flopped up mess.
She don't need it. She don't need
It's
it.
like clay. I've.
Ray says you can't have it.
Oh, that's got
Oh, that's got the,
Give her the quick one there.
you made a mess.
She don't need it.
Ray says you can't have it.
I'd let her have mine.
That's so
Husbands.
She wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. She wouldn't be able to sleep tonight.
There, little girl, don't cry. Well, Mommy, I'm glad that you had such a good birthday.
Me too.
On this July 5th, a few months later than your birthday.
Yeah, it's more fun to do it now than in January.
Well, it made it so that we could come, otherwise
I
it
did that
didn't
for the Sarah.
And
You
I
don't come in
couldn't-
January?
Well, Grandma doesn't come in January.
I couldn't
so-
come in January.
I wouldn't want to come in January unless it was an
Typically
emergency.
would have been about the same in here.
That's what I tried to tell her. It's only cold if you go outside.
Want some more milk?
No, I wouldn't complain about
It
it.
was
being
cold
the
and
basement in the
snowy
winter.
that day I was born, my mother
Want some
said.
milk?
Oh, you want
Were
milk
you
and
born at
coffee?
home?
I was born
He's
at
got it.
Did you
home.
put milk and coffee?
He's got
They called Dr. McCusker. He said, hang a lantern out so I'll know where to stop. 5 o'clock in the morning he came.
And what time were you born? But you know that he came at 5 o'clock,
Well,
and you weren't even there yet.
She's heard the story.
But she doesn't know the rest of it.
That must have
I
been-
know that he came during the night, so that, you know, but the hang a lantern was what Dad said he was told, you know. I mean, that's the story he told, that
That must have been miserable to be a doctor back then.
coming by horse and buggy.
Or a
In the middle of the
Same
night.
thing, in the middle of the night.
My dad always tells everybody, never forget the night I was born. He went and got a midwife to come back, and they was started off from Cartersville. The boys were to get the doctor. The lightning struck in front of the horses, and it backed the wagon up on the bank. And they tipped the buggy over.
Oh my goodness.
And they got halfway to Boyceville, and the wind, and it started raining and sleeting. And wind blew the lantern out, and the horses wouldn't go. They had to get out and lead them.
It was so dark, the
And
horses
they
couldn't
stopped
see.
at Old Bailey's down there and got the matches, got the lantern going, and they got the Boyceville. Just daylight in the morning.
Did they make it in time?
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. This was a
Okay. For the
difficult birth.
midwife,
His was a difficult birth.
as opposed to your poor mama being there.
Yep, those were the days.
Yeah.
You have to have
And the
selective
midwife was
memory
in
to call
Boyceville?
it old
Well, the
days.
midwife was next door neighbor.
Mm.
I mean,
Why are we going to Boyceville then?
to get the
Did the
doctor.
doctor?
I guess they just had this.
Oh,
They-
oh, okay, but at least the midwife was there.
I don't think, nobody had a telephone in those days evidently.
Huh?
Nobody had a telephone in those days evidently. But they must have had a telephone in your day to call McCusker and him to tell you to put the.
Well, I know, before the Depression, Mother and Dad had a phone.
Yes. I can
Did
remember when the
they
telephone
keep it or
was
did they
in.
take it out?
They took it out then.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, I don't remember.
When we got
when.
My grandma and grandpa lived on the same farm as we did. And they kept their phone. But that a little more money or something. And then all the neighborhood came there and used the phone. If they needed a veterinarian for cows or horses or a doctor, they'd come there and use the phone. If a phone bell come for us, she had a dinner bell. She'd ring the dinner bell. And then we'd run over there and she'd answer the phone.
And not that long ago.
Everybody took their phone.
And now we have our
And when
own phones everywhere.
when REA came through, my dad was a great pusher for REA.
So was my dad.
Yeah, and.
My dad was too.
My
Every,
grandpa was
My
too.
grandpa too.
every school district had a meeting, that's, you know, out in the country. that Roosevelt gonna electrify the rural area. Every school just had a meeting and they appointed somebody to go out and get an easement signed to put the line across. They had to have an easement for that,
To set the poles.
to put the line through. And my dad was a great pusher of it, and I remember old Ed Dorothy get up and he says, "Bill, you're crazier than hell." He said, "No way that you can afford to pay the electric light bill that, but just like the telephone. Everybody had a telephone, and then it got so hard up, everybody took them out. There's very, very few phones in the country.
And the
But then
farmers,
when RA came through, it was 40 kilowatts for $3.50. That was the minimum. Didn't have
Per month.
For a month.
and the city people got 20 kilowatts for $2.
And not for an REA. That-
Yeah, Connorsville people,
Oh, well, yeah.
yeah.
That's not exactly city.
Well,
folks.
that's city, my gosh.
Dinosaur was royal.
Vegas City I knew about. Population 100, if you go up far enough.
How many taverns and how many churches?
Instead of lot
Taverns
time
and churches and
where everybody.
Two stores and two
It
villages.
was up 40
Stores and
kilowatts a
garages.
month, you know, because all they had was probably for
Free enterprise.
a washing machine and lights and
No monopoly.
probably electric motor on the pump
But
jack.
40
on the
kilowatts.
water,
I mean, now you use
maybe a
thousands
milk
more.
machine.
Right
Yeah.
now.
And we
Right
didn't,
now.
at first you didn't even
Let's
use.
tell one story at a time to the camera.
Sorry. Forgot the
What's the
camera
matter?
was going. I was talking when you were talking. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying nothing.
You were telling me about using power.
Yeah.
That's what she was talking about.
Yeah.
It wasn't a separate story, it was just mad
It's
eye.
easy to listen to with one person talking.
Yes, I understand.
I guess just put slices in the bag.
Yeah, wrap them.
You don't have any,
Yeah, get some saran wrap. That'll be better than
you don't have
baggies.
any Tupperware or something that?
No, it's Fran wrap. She don't want to lose her Tupperware.
No.
Oh, I thought you,
Oh, I know.
they needed it at work and you'd bring
You
it
just
home.
got some little boxes we can
I
put
think
in.
she was talking about for the people that aren't living here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, actually,
Actually,
When you get
All
stacked,
the-
it's so pretty one day I knew it.
it's Jeff.
All the holes was dug by hand.
And then
honey, we
And
have
all the
so
holes was
much
set with spike poles.
sweet at home.
Really? Lift them up
You
with
didn't break
spikes.
into the
Set 'em up with
cheesecake.
spike poles.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think they was,
well, leave it frozen for a month and then break into it.
Or you can freeze it up.
spike poles.
Do this
Long
for
behind
Jeff
the
and Nina.
guys with big ones.
Yeah, 'cause you'll get that back.
Maybe.
And then
Maybe.
Well, I'm not worried about
Or
that.
chip
That's
on it.
only 20 years old.
chip falls.
It's
Oh,
an
yeah.
antique.
Isn't it amazing?
I bet it's older
They put
than
in
20
a
years
power
old because it's
plant.
burnt
One
orange.
with a big
or
It was
generator.
from
brown.
my brother, so
Big
maybe it
diesel
did my
generator.
mother. It was what my brother had in
That's the line
college.
that
I'm
changed
guessing
the
it's from the late 60s.
That
I mean, up
could be.
to,
That's the one
I
down.
just can't believe all that Tupperware. I bought it.
Yeah.
The one down pulled in?
You
I know.
want two pieces
I
or
don't know,
just
it's
a
gonna
month?
last forever. and it's
Uh-huh.
now been
You're in
forever.
down
Unless it fits
the-
better.
A little bit better as a hook.
Well, what I was thinking, you could put one this way,
There's no
one this
cover, you
way.
don't put string over it?
Find the
Yep.
dealer and they would
I guess so.
Yeah, but the problem is they
Yeah,
replace it with something.
Electricity came in
Imagine what the lid looks like, but I don't think we
kind
have
of
it
in 38.
No.
I'll have to eat that.
Yes, ma'am.
38, and we didn't get electricity till 44. 44?
44?
Because the neighbor between us and the High Line, that he wouldn't send an easement to let the line go across his land.
Oh.
A dirty dog.
When did we get it then?
38.
Yeah, you got it 41, I think, Ray.
It'll taste the same, it's okay.
Yeah, laying on its side.
I thought it was fine.
A
Oh, thank
bullseye.
you.
Another one?
Sure.
You want it right now?
You better eat that raspberry, Mom.
That certainly was a beautiful cake.
It certainly was.
Did you notice the glitter on it?
Yes, I did.
Why, did you
what
spill
is that?
something on it?
No, it was glitter.
I'm sure it was sugar.
Glitter from the
Just
bakery.
Yeah, I bet it's sugar.
Because it
Very
Yeah.
sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Probably look it up on the internet.
Well, tell me how big.
Dorothy Ray fan.
Someone.
You wanna eat yours for breakfast?
No.
Why didn't you just cut 3 slices and?
I think they can get rid of all that.
No, that's a ton. There's only
You
three
can't
of
take
us.
it to work?
If
There's
Richard's
only
gonna
a few
take
people
some
in my
to work,
office this week.
you're gonna take some to work and
I'll take it.
Rena.
and Rena, I think it'll.
If you don't want any. say
Well, it'd be hard to eat in the car.
Oh, you can
Well, you're gonna be home in 2 days.
motel.
If you put it on a paper plate,
Well,
put
they
the
didn't
plastic
make
over it, put
Well,
another
we
paper
could
plate
have
under
tried
it.
it at the motel.
You could put all 3 pieces, you could just put a
Yeah,
big
grab
giant
big
some
plate
paper
with
plates
forks.
in.
She's doing it.
Do we have?
Well, I don't know, Nina's box would work, still work good, wouldn't it?
Did you get the 2 books I put by the front door?
Yes,
They were
ma'am.
yours? Thank you.
Thank you, because I'd already forgotten you'd taken a book out. Did you even get the front cover of it opened?
I did.
Did you?
I
haven't
got
read part of
2/3 of the way through one, yeah. And
No, I meant the library book.
Put this other
not very far. I
Because
checked.
when you got that, we started sleeping
Sure you
immediately.
do.
Well, good.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Well, I'll have a raspberry. Gimme raspberry, please, please, please. Thank you. One got a couple. Oh. Yes, Mommy, you had
Yeah,
a
Amy
very
put
good
a-
birthday.
Big piece of plastic across the bottom, then it can go over the top because this will absorb the moisture out of the cake. There's 2 there.
There's 3 there.
Oh.
You were figuring 1 piece per plate.
They just
Whatever.
put it all
More-
on one plate
yeah.
to begin with, and
More
then they can.
difficult to
Yeah.
transport that way.
Well, we can still send them with all their plates.
Yeah, you can send them with all 3 plates.
No, we got the same place.
Yeah, those motel rooms are very big, you know,
Yeah.
especially that one we had coming out. With all the beautiful flowers, the room. was
Help me,
nice.
Dorothy.
Pretty.
Picking on
Tell
me.
you if we're going home.
Oh, no, you never know where we.
Yes.
We
You
can
have
get on
my
price
full
line.
permission.
Nice, cheap on
I don't know, you figure them out.
It doesn't matter, he's just a teddy
never
bear.
know where it's at.
He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He is.
And phone yours is busy tonight.
It is a cold in here.
I'm cold, feel my nose.
Get away from me.
Nose cold. It's the first thing that,
It is cold.
It's like a.
Mine is warm.
it's the first, if I'm gonna be cold, it's the first thing that comes.
Whoops, did it. Lovely.
Oh my gosh, is that a nice job?
Getting smaller.
Perfect. Now you need some plastic forks.
You know, we have some of those too.
May as well
I
send them
have
home.
one in the car.
It's
You can share it.
Only
I got-
one of you gets to
I
eat.
got a fork and a spoon, and a knife, fork, and spoon, that hold together, I got that in the car. So one could eat with a knife, and one with a fork.
You guys can get rid of the rest of that.
You could just about eat that over the
We
next
stopped
couple nights.
for lunch at Wendy's and had Frosty. And we had spoon and Mom says, keep your spoon. She says, I brought some fruit along, you know, in the little containers.
Sit back and spoon.
So that we kept our spoon and we had fruit for breakfast.
And then you threw your spoons in.
Yeah, then you think. I didn't make the same thing yet.
Oh, that's good, because then you would have had to wash it.
Well,
Did
I
you
don't
hear
wash it.
about the lady that said, when I die, I want you to put a fork with me in my casket? And when they asked, why would you want that?
Because she was done.
No, at every church supper, it said, keep your fork. The best is yet to come.
That's cute. I like that.
Cute, yes. What's the matter, sweetie?
8:10.
Just gets it, doesn't it?